Oh, everybody, welcome to Try Drowning. I took a little break, played some Dead by Daylight with Moon and other stuff. Played a little bit more. I ran out of all of my beer, which I'm kind of glad I did. And yeah, that's about it. There's no save from chapter 2 left, damn. All we have to do is to load chapter 3. And go into the last chapter. So we have a map and we have to move somewhere. The island entrance. Our old friend wanted something from us. I don't know if we can trust him. I already have a bad feeling about it. The game probably wants us to trust him in the end, even though we're not gonna trust him at the start, but at the same time, yeah. Let's just see about it. We're here, finally. I hope what he has to say is worth it. Our strive. This place has changed so much in the last years. After what happened a few years ago, renovating the area was the least they could do. I didn't expect to see you until your funeral. Long time no see, old friend. Leon, it's you. And look at you. You're in terrible shape, dude. You're looking like a ghost. It's all your fault I'm in this state. If I'm in this state, you sick bastard. Please, it's our fault. Let me remind you that you accepted when I proposed to. Stop it already. You suffered long enough because of that, so please. Bassett Case Show. Liam Bassett is a member of Nova Palamus PD whose integrity has been widely questioned in the past. Bassett has been charged along with full investigations of falsifying evidence connected with the Pandora case, which ruined his career. Thanks to the reputation he managed to build in the past, he kept his job although he was a simple officer. Alright, let's get to the point then. Why did you bring us here? Because I wanted to talk to you away from prying ears, and because I need your help with something that's going on here on the island. You said it wasn't about Pandora, though. Indeed, the two go together. Great, you have my attention then. Start explaining. Old grudges. I would like to make this quite clear. I'm still holding a grudge against you, and I'm not going to forgive you anytime soon. Like I give a flying hawk. I'm here for the information you promised, that's all. Are you really going to fight again? Damn it, you're so childish. 2 innocent people died. My work and personal life has been hell in the last 6 years, and all because I listened to you. If I hadn't submitted that evidence, this would have never happened. You knew there was no other way to frame them, and even you thought they were guilty. Only because you messed with my head. Aren't we supposed to talk about more important things, so you guys going to punch each other in the middle of the street? Believe me, I'd love to. Unfortunately, I'm still a police officer. Oh, please accept my apologies then, Mr. Policeman. Now, let's move on. As Sarah said, that this district has changed a lot. There were abandoned factories and public housing only, up until 7 years ago. Now the area has been completely renovated and they built a gigantic square around it open air concentration camp they call the island. Can you believe it? This is the only location on the outskirts of Nova Palamus that doesn't smell like piss. They're filled it with a bunch of old and useless people to slave away. Concentration camp? What do you mean? Don't you know? People here were forced to leave their houses and now they're living in huts until they kick the bucket. In the meantime, they have no choice but to work without getting paid in exchange for room and board provided by the government. Wait, I might be wrong, but from what I know, the island is merely a shelter for homeless or jobless old people. That was before the accident. And something changed and the owner suddenly realized this place wasn't profitable enough. So now all properties owned by those old people who failed the Patterson test are taken over by the government. Amazing, isn't it? And people let all of this happen right under their noses. You should know by now that our citizens are only looking out for those four walls they call home. They wouldn't lift a finger unless it involved them personally, and we're talking about old and senile people, so why would even bother to renovate this place then? Because appearance is all that matters, Foley. Despite being a burden now, they have contributed to build this country. The island is the ideal place to let them slowly rot, because it's far away. No one could get in without permission. Also, this way the facility would look good in the TV news, reports reassuring citizens. And here you go. Masterpiece is ready. It's a slaughterhouse made of gold, or rather, an appetizing sweet that tastes like shit. And they even dare to print flyers. Obtained flyer. What the hell? An advertising flyer about the service of the island, emphasizing how the elder would be able to live in harmony while staying socially active. Voice of evidence is deaf to the ears of propaganda. Pandora. He said he had news about Pandora. Spit it out. 3 days ago, when I got home from work, I found this piece of paper under my door. Do these numbers mean anything to you? Kind of noticed this. Wait a minute. September 26th at 9:30 p.m. If I remember correctly, this is the date when Pandora killed that guy on the island. Exactly. Today is the 6th anniversary of his death. Or rather, it will be in just over 1 hour. Piece of paper you can read September 26th, 9:30 p.m. The island. Written by the pieces of newspaper and total lack of imagination. The final bell rings forever and it for some of them does it twice. Are you beginning to see why I called you here? It's some twisted joke, right? I doubt it's just a stupid prank by some idiot. There's no public precise information on that murder, let alone the exact time. So who wrote it? Don't tell me. Yes, Pandora himself. Hold on, since when does Pandora announce his next moves? Some kind of further masochism? Well, I think nothing is going to happen. To learn from this note, though, is something else. Pandora's following us, and he seems to be taking an interest in us, now more than ever. So I wanted to ask you, would you be willing to come with me on the island and wait for the time indicated on the note? As I said, maybe nothing will happen, and in the meantime, you could tell me about where I again on the Hephaestus case. Are you asking us to share the information we've collected on Pandora? Well, yes, exactly. I know there's bad blood between us, but at this point, we are forced to work together. Say, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? So what's your answer? Do you think, Mordred? I guess Leon is right. I won't work together with him for just a second. As much as I hate to admit it, we need him. But it's risky to share too much given how much he still despises us. What should I do? Give him wrong information or tell him the truth? Now in that case I'm gonna tell him the truth. Maybe you were right. It's useless to fight each other now. I'll tell you what we found. I'm glad we've come to an agreement. Where shall we begin? I never pictured that it would be this bad. Now I see why no one wanted to talk about Detective Goldsoul, nor about what happened at the Feisters. Those plusty bastards did everything they could to keep me out. What the hell? Came from the island. Who are you? It's the police. Let us through and don't let anybody out. Damn it. We're too late. We must inform my colleagues and close up the entrance. I won't let the bastard go this time. Stay here, Mordred, and see what you can find out. I'll make sure to close the gates. This scene is same from 6 years ago. Go, Hera. I'll handle this. Hey, I'll fetch the police. How far can you say this and go? Pandora? Yes, but this time we won't get away. This hellhole has only one entrance, and all exits are recorded. The murder happened at 8:30 PM, and no one left the building, fell into his own trap. How could a meticulous killer like him make such a huge mistake? Whatever the reason, we'd better start investigating. You might want to know more about the dynamics of the case first, don't you think? Would you be so kind to share the information with us? How could I say no to a smile like that? What would I do without you? Sorry for that. I wanted to thank you for letting us through without filing up in those useless files. Just doing my duty, and we promised to take him down together, didn't we? While in the past you won't be able to use evidence from the future, and you will find clues that might be helpful for the current case. All information will be collected in documents. You can read them at any moment, both in the present and past. Victim's identity. What do you know about the victim? His name is Terry Oath, son of Maximilian, the founder and director of the island. Terry Oath, October 24, 29, well he was. Just like his father, Terry was impulsive and extremely condescending. He always claimed to be a Black Bonds militant, which made his attitude towards subordinates even more rigid. Terry was Maximilian Oath's firstborn. After studying private law, he was appointed as coordinator of the whole island, provoking allegations of nepotism against his father. Terry has managed the budget of the island for a very long time. What? Pandora killed such an influential figure? What's wrong with him? You know for sure that Terry was not very popular here, but no one thought that Pandora would take action himself. What do you mean? Did he have any enemies? Don't have enough information about this. Ask around when you get the chance. What's certain is that his father has gone insane after that. I won't trade places with these wretched lives here. These wretches living here, after we solve the case. You think there's a chance we might talk to him? Tell us more about what happened. Probably, but let me tell you, it won't be much of a pleasant chat. As always. Situation on the island. Is the situation here really under control? Are you sure no one left after the murder? As I said, each entry and exit was recorded. When the alarm went off, the doors were immediately shut. This place is like a fortified maze. The walls are so high that it's just impossible to escape. We're completely sure that every guest and worker who was here last night is still locked up inside. I can only imagine the pressure these poor people are subject to. I hope we can things sorted but quickly. They are here because they don't have a place to live after all. We've got our own problem to deal with right now. There's no point worrying about something that is not our concern. Dynamics of the murder. Let's get to the point. What did you find out about the dynamics of the murder? The victim jumped through a window from the 5th floor of the main building, falling into the pond in the middle of the square. But we've already established that this was not the cause of death. What then? Before being thrown out the window, his throat was slit while his eyes and mouth were filled with hot wax. That's not all. The victim had angel wings on his back, one of the props from the island's theater. Angel wings? Props? What are they doing here? From what I've heard, sometimes they organize plays as a recreational activity for the guests, and the rehearsal room is right on the 5th floor. So he was thrown from there? Exactly. Wings, wax, and a fall from a great height, there's no doubt. Pandora created a sick version of the myth of Icarus. Yeah, I don't need to read that, I know that. How did he manage to kill him without anyone noticing? I have no idea yet. Maybe we can find out more by investigating the crime scene or the rehearsal room. Can you get us in, Leon? I need some time. I'll do my best. Well, at least now we have a lead to follow up. Very well. We can start by taking a look around. Alright, I'll be here in case you need anything. Try not to be reckless, okay? Sure, thank you. Come on, Mordred. The victim's right shoulder is full of cuts and shards of glass all over the skin. What's that supposed to mean? The victim's hands and arms have no wounds or bruises, so they didn't notice the assassin or they didn't try to defend himself. Just like Leon said, the victim's face was disfigured with wax, poured into both his eyes and mouths. The throat was cut clean and cruel, typical of him. This is supposed to be Maximilian Oath, the founder and director of this deadly maze. The statue represents him giving a needy old man a sort of sun, which is a symbol of the island. Though I did find a way to represent even the sun. This is so grotesque, even more than the statue itself. Here the wings that Leon was talking about are further in a pretty bad shape after the fall. Does it look like a good time to make such comments? A display case with some information about the structure, its foundation, and development over time. At the bottom you can see the names of some important guests there and their motto, "Here the sun never goes down." Wait, now it's time to interrogate some witnesses. Any suspects yet? Oh, you bet. Thinking back to those moments makes me sick. Don't have time to waste, I must investigate before the police arrive. Personal documents number 1. The island's crime scene, year 2060. The victim's body was thrown from the 5th floor of the main building and fell into the earth pond below. There are wounds and glass shards on the victim's shoulders, wearing angel wings typically used in theater costumes. The theaters was by the one to see. The victim's throat was cut, both his eyes and mouth were filled with wax. The murder happened at 9:30 p.m. Let's investigate. Once again, fellas all around the crime scene. They arranged in a different way this time though. Just like 6 years ago, the victim has wax all over his eyes. However, his throat looks untouched, and the wax is in his mouth is most likely dripped from his eyes. Maybe Pandora didn't have time to slit his throat and was forced to change his plans. Victim's face. But wax was poured into the victim's eyes and it burned his cheeks and mouth. His death was caused by the fall. The victim was only still alive and the wax was being poured. That is so unlike Pandora. Look, what are those wounds on his arms? The cuts are quite deep and there are a lot of shards of glass. Maybe this will help us break down what happened. Wait, what are these burns? Both his thumbs suffered severe burns. How could this happen? Whatever the reason, Pandora was definitely in a rush this time. burn thumbs. Both the victim's thumbs are covered in wax and are severely burned, just like his face. Nothing burns like pride. There are several cuts and glass shards in both the victim's arms coming from the broken window. No sign of stab wounds on the rest of the body. Once again, feathers all around the crime scene. Different pattern for the display case is covered in blood. Maybe the victim hit his head against it when he landed on the ground. Security camera pointing at the crime scene. I'm not sure it will be help. It will be really. It will be help to us, but it still might be useful. Shoe? What's it doing in the bush? Probably the victim lost it when the fall and landed here. Better take it with me as evidence. Shoe, white shoe. The shoe has been found in a bush at the crime scene. It looks like a safety shoe, size 43. The tiniest detail hides the most sinister of intentions. The island timetable. This might come in handy. Let's schedule. 8 AM wake up call. 8:10 AM medical examination. 8:30 daily task assignment. 12 PM lunch break. 3 PM recreational activities. 7 PM dinner. 8:30 curfew. Sky is looking further away than usual. The grotesque statue still symbolizing the egotism of Dad. Wait a minute. Big dent on his head. I wonder why. Vandalized statue. The face of the statue representing the founder of the island is covered in dents, probably inflicted by a blunt object. All kings are destined to suffer. Angel wings, identical to those used in the past, broken into pieces of the fall once again. Now we've gathered all the evidence we can have. Medium-sized wings are used as a stage costume and they were tied to the victim's back. After the crash, its feathers spread around the crime scene. Discreet wings broken by burning ambitions. I've seen enough. Our friends will be here any second. Mordred, the police are here. Good, let's move out. Relax, the sun will shine tomorrow. Don't go out, the rain will soak you wet. Wow. Please stay calm. We're carrying out some checks to ensure your safety. You can go back to your rooms very soon. However, keep in mind that leaving this building is forbidden. I see the police started to take care of the guests of the island. Oh, Mordred, finally I found you. It's worried that turned the screws on you for sticking your nose into the crime scene. We're good for now. Thank God. Tell me, what did you find there? Much more than I expected. What? The murder is not identical to the one we investigated? Quite the contrary. I think the discrepancies will allow us to catch that piece of shit. You already spoken to Leon? No. Probably too busy explaining why we're here on the island. You can't keep me here. You have no right. Do you have any idea who you're dealing with? Who's that, Ludwig? What's all that screaming? That's the owner of the island. Maximilian. Millionov. Age 69. Hatred is just a degeneration of loneliness. Psychological profile. After the loss of his son, Maximilian fell into a deep depression, caused by his stressful job as director. Oaf's family owns a small business in Nova Palermo, specializing in renewable energy. attending the law school, he started working for the government, eventually appointed as director of the Project Island. Huh? And who are you? You don't look like residents of the island. Are you reporters who came sniffing around? Did you really forget about us? Did you think that we were like your best friends a few years ago? Did our faces age so much? Don't tell me. You're those detectives. Morquet and Hera? Morquet? Oh yeah, that's us. How did you get in? Security! Someone throw them out immediately. Shh. Calm down already. You're here to solve this mess, and I believe that's in your interest to get everything back to normal. What are you even talking about? The situation is perfectly under control. It's one of the most renowned places in the whole city. It takes much more to affect its reputation. You can forget about wandering around here. You're not the police, and I don't trust you at all. I'm afraid we won't be able to get anything out of him. You should remember what kind of person he is. Maximilian is lying, and this time I don't need the mask to realize that. But I won't convince him to help if I don't get personal. In order to do that, I need to dive in the past. The day this man's life fell apart. From now on, by using the souvenir picture in the inventory, we'll go back to the past and experience first-hand Hera's and Morquet's memories. This way, we'll find new information and learn more about the case from 6 years ago. Use the picture again to get back to the present. Remember, you won't be able to use the evidence collected in the future during the investigation in the past. I just read it, I don't even know how to use it. The end of the tweet. Why are you so determined to talk to me? I already told you must leave. Now! I'll never convince him to cooperate, not like this. I need to look back at the past. I need to remember the day I met him. Not sure I understood how to use it. That's how. So the main suspects are these two guys. Yes, Robert Harrington and Jennifer Kingston. Apparently they had a grudge against the victim due to something that happened a few years ago. Seems they are pretty famous actors here in Nova Palamos. Fuck. 88. The devil's in the details. Psychological profile. Cheerful and spontaneous, Jennifer has always been able to adapt to every situation and was still loved by friends and colleagues. Her personality allowed her to easily find a job and then move up quickly. Jennifer was condemned to the electric chair for Tarioff's murder and executed with accomplished. She was a rising star in Nova Palamos, acting scene, and she was particularly appreciated for the comic roles. Robert Harrington. God's touch is never careless. Robert is a self-centered and arrogant man trying to hide behind false modesty. Before being condemned to the electric chair for Tarioff's murder, he was one of the most renowned dramatic actors in the theatre scene of Nova Palamos. Although he never achieved true fame, he had a small flock of admirers. Even now, some nostalgics used to bring flowers to his grave. What are the two actors doing here? What happened between them and the victim? I don't have the answers to your questions right now. We have to find out more on our own. Please know I'm working with you. They have me on a short leash. Alright. We're going to speak to them. You'll find them in the waiting room. Shouldn't be too hard to spot. Maybe we should talk to Director Maximilian too. Info advises against it. Well, if you really want, go to the crime scene then. He's there since yesterday. He's still in shock and refuses any help. Try to be careful if you don't want to be kicked out. Alright, let's go. The island waiting room. In the past. Huh. Look, Maud, what does that look like? There you are. Found you. Excuse me? What did I tell you? This girl has a perfect face for our next play. Look how beautiful she is, Robert. Oh wow, you're damn right, Jennifer. This girl is a real beauty. A rare jewel. Are you talking about me? You see any other young ladies around here? You're the performer we are looking for. Tell me, are you into theater? Oh yes, I like it, but... Alright. Enough of the chit-chat. We are detectives. Pull yourself together. Got work to do here. Oh, how rude. Can't expect kindness when someone here has just been murdered by a serial killer. You must be Mr. Harrington and Miss Kingston, am I right? That's us. Here we are in the flesh. Would you like an autograph, miss? Oh, not really. Actually, we wanted to ask you a few questions. Oh dear, don't tell me we're suspects. Just honest and respected actors. Our life goal is to make people dream, not to kill them. Wrong voice, but still. Heart in our dilemmas. You don't have to worry. Some routine questions won't do any harm. Be innocent. You'll be released soon. Fine, so what are you waiting for? Ask away. We'll prove that we are as pure as snow. Maximilian Ove on the island. Who is Maximilian Ove to you? And what are you doing on the island? Maximilian is our patron. He's the one who decided to bring the theatre here for his guests. He has always wanted to make life better for those living here by having them participate in acting classes, for example. He even organized several theatre festivals with professional actors, and that's where we come in. Before this happened, we were rehearsing for a new play dedicated to the tragedy of those who perished in an attempt to emigrate to Nova Palamas. Were the rehearsals taking place here on the island? No. We only taught acting classes for some guests here in the rehearsal room of the recreation area. There is a rehearsal room. Could it be the place where Minotaur attacked the victim? As strange as it might sound, Maximilian loved his son, and the staff hit him very hard. I believe he had good intentions for this place, but then politics kicked in and ruined everything, as often happens. Relationship with the victim. Did you know the victim personally? Sure we did. He was our employer's son. That poor wretch was not very well liked. He had many enemies, and in the end, he suffered the consequences. It may look like a serial killer did the deed, but I'm sure the motive is revenge. Who are those enemies you mentioned? Well, everyone living on the island, don't you know? He used to manage a company budget and caused all sorts of disasters. What disasters? Crumpled walls, budget cuts, non-compliant buildings. He was doing everything to take bribes from construction companies. So the victim was hated for being a corrupt man. Maybe we should discuss this with his father. Alibi. If you've nothing to do with the murder, you should be able to provide an alibi for both of you, right? Of course. When the incident occurred, Robert and I were in our room rehearsing the play. Like true professionals. Is any camera footage that can prove it? I don't think there are cameras inside the building. Don't you have any believable alibi? We were together, isn't it enough? The mask. Are they telling the truth? Maybe there's more. You're just two actors who have nothing to do with the murder, is that it? I swear, we had no hard feelings towards either him or his father. Been collaborating with them since the opening of the facility. It's hard to get hired in this country. You can't afford to kill the few employees left. Wait. The mask, it popped up right when she said they had no hard feelings. Alright, it's enough for now. Stick around, we might still need you. As you wish, madam. Roger that. Just don't let us wait here for too long, okay? They're hiding something. I know it. Hiding what? The mask showed up when she talked about resentment toward the victim and his father. Their relationship wasn't that good, in fact. Leon was right. They're definitely good suspects, especially if Pandora acted in the rehearsal room as a think. Yeah, the alibi isn't solid at all. Before we face them again, we should investigate that room, but I'm afraid we can't access that until Leon gives us the permission. Alright, let's do some research meanwhile. Crime scene. You didn't deserve this, no, my dear, gentle, sweet, and caring son. No, I'm sure it was just envy. The envy of that filthy loser who did this to you. Promise you, son, I will have that bastard's head, or everyone else will pay for it. Is he talking to himself? Mordred, this man just lost his son. Just try to be respectful. Who's there? Who dares to speak while I'm mourning? Detective Mordred Foley and Terror Carries, sir. Here to arrest the monster that killed your son. I've heard of you too. You're those detectives who have been chasing Pandora for years. And now you're here to feed off my son's dead body in search for fame and glory. Brave robbers preying on the lonely and bereaved, digging out carrion like vultures. That's what you are. Please, sir, understand your pain, but I swear we're here to help. You wish to avenge your son, you just have to support us. I promise that you'll have a front row seat at the execution of that bastard. Alright, but I don't trust you nor the police. Well, we have something in common. Alright, here we go. First question. Old grudges. One last question, then we'll leave you alone. Spoke to two of your actors and they confirmed one of our greatest concerns. It appears that your son was not particularly well liked around here because of some work-related issues. I mentioned some bribes, reason why several guests seem to hold a grudge against him. How dare you! My son was brilliant and honest. Any complications that arose were the fault of the stupid architect. People speak out of envy. The only reason those old people died in the collapse is... What? Some guys died in a collapse? Too late to hold back, Maximilian. Tell me, has anyone died here because of your son? He had absolutely nothing to do with that. It was not his fault. Column collapsed during a play, killing two old infirm people. The accident was kept within the island. It was a tragedy, nothing more. Robin and Jennifer on stage when it happened? No, there was another company at that time which refused to work again after that. I decided to hire those two. I knew I couldn't trust those bums. Hiring them was a big mistake. Did everything I could to improve the life quality of my guests, and all I got... was backstabbing. But things are going to change here, you have my word, and someone will pay for this. Terry did an excellent job. The only reason why the buildings were not compliant is that someone tried to trick him. No mask. Maximilian truly believes his son is innocent. The island architecture. Could you tell us about the structure of the island? The facility is meant to have no ways to get in or out besides the main entrance. The goal is to protect ourselves from thieves who would see a place full of old people like a true gold mine. We built a massive structure, a unique masterpiece of contemporary architecture. But then we had to expand, turning the facility into a maze of stairs to compensate the lack of space. Neverland. I know it's painful, but we need to know more about your son. Terry has always been an incredibly smart and honorable man, so I decided to keep him by my side to handle the island. The board did not like my decision, but complaining is part of the job of those ungrateful fuckers, I guess. Terry managed the budget, while planning the renovation of the buildings and the creation of new areas. I felt so proud looking at him at work. I should have seen him. Any idea why Pandora would go after him? If I knew, I wouldn't be here mourning, don't you think? Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to be left alone. This conversation made my mood even worse. Goodbye. Just a thought, Maximilian won't talk about the misdeeds of his sons. We'll have to find out in a different way. Should talk to Leon first. He might have some news. Alright, let's go. The mask thing doesn't seem to work with direct questions about being guilty. How much can I trust something like this? Masks of flies. Here we know about this up. Don't mess it up. Not again. I think it's time to confront Maximilian again and unmask him. Just need to pressure him focusing on the past until fall apart. We're gonna save here. The end of the dream. Alright, here we go. Got to be careful not to push it, or it could blow up the whole case. Mr. Oaf, can we have a second? You again? Another word and I swear I'll kick you out of here. Mordred, maybe you should give up. No, trust me. I understand how you feel, but we need your help to find whoever did this. If you're not honest with me and don't grant us free access to the facility, we'll have our hands tied and it will be all for nothing. I trusted you once, and it all went to hell. That maniac had the chance to strike again. It's all your fault. Sentenced to death 2 innocent people instead of the monster that slaughtered my son. No, it's not working. I need to change the topic. Got to play on his fears and force him to talk. Fine, I'll be straightforward then. If you keep obstructing our investigation, you could be the next one to die. What are you saying, Mordred? What? Are you resorting to threats now? You know what I'm saying. You're not the most beloved person here. You are in danger. What are you talking about? All residents and staff members love me. Why would they kill me? When I was investigating the crime scene, I found something that proves the opposite. It is evident just that someone on the island has some unfinished business with you. The vandalized statue. What the? Huh? The curtain out of the statue, someone's kicked it up. That's right, and it happens to represent our friend here. Seems that someone here is looking forward to getting their revenge. Who would have done that? That doesn't prove anything. Could just be an accident. Your action says otherwise. While your mask. Oh. Huh. There's some damage to the island's properties as an act of rebellion? I'm quite sure this wasn't an isolated case. After the death of your son, things have changed here. And not for the better. You only have to look around to understand why. What? The number of guests have increased a lot. Everybody agrees this facility is a great success. Big success. Achieved with the collaboration of the government. The growth in the number of guests is only one simple reason behind. And that reason is Patterson test. The much loved Patterson test. I'm sure most of your guests failed it. What are you implying? After the accident, the government put huge pressure on you, and you ended up your back up against the wall. The only way to save face was to propose something that would keep the facility operative and profitable for the government. Something really inhuman. And the Patterson test was the key. Usually old people fail it. They happen to be the perfect inhabitants of our beloved island. By forcing them to live here, being declared incompetent and with no heirs, the government would obtain their properties. At the same time, granting you an army of slaves forced to rely you on for their survival. The death of his son leads to cynicism, and cynicism to shameless exploitation. Exploitation? What the hell are you talking about? We provide people with no future with a shelter. Those old people can't wait to work together and feel useful, and this place is much safer than their own houses. So true, especially if they're surrounded by walls and the entrance is strictly guarded. Well, it certainly feels like being inside a prison. And they made a nice addition to the facility which proves my point of you being scared for your guests. The addition I'm talking about is their security cameras. If this place is perfectly safe, why would you have cameras installed everywhere? Maybe they damaged something else other than the statue. That's why you're so afraid. Stop it! How long are you going to harass me? I've lost my son and my credibility, and now this damn nightmare's ruining my life again. And on top of that, you two won't stop bugging me. It's simply because you keep on hiding the truth. Why didn't you tell us straight away that someone displayed violent behavior? Because this kind of behavior is daily routine, and it involves dozens of different people that spread over 70 seeking for attention. Huh? Every day the facility gets damaged, and Pandora's return is the last straw. This can't go public, otherwise my career will be over, nullifying all efforts my son and I made to create this place. Are you still willing to keep this quiet, even now that the blood of one of your employees is on your hands? What are you talking about? I don't even know the victim. There are thousands of people living here. You can't expect me to know all of them. Maybe not the guests. I'm sure you're paranoid enough to know every single person who's working for you. Maybe, but you're certainly not one of them. I believe it's another lie. I can prove it. This provides evidence the victim worked here. The shoe. Why would any of your old guests wear work shoes? Where did you find that? At the crime scene, the victim lost it during the fall and landed in a bush. There's no point in lying anymore, Mr. Hoof. Tell us the truth and maybe we'll be able to help you. Alright, I'll tell you what I know. This was a hard one, but we did it. It wasn't actually that hard. Even I could do it this time around. The victim is Andrew Jonesy. He was one of the youngest and most promising technicians of the new theater company of the island. Oh my god, he even looks like Pandora. Profile is currently locked for investigate. Please look in later. His profile is available. The police lock it up. Please, every second counts. All I'm asking is for you to help us understand. Did you work in the theater too? That's right. After the accident, I started a new in-house company made of talented young people only. They're dedicated to my son. Dedicating a company to the same person who destroyed the theater. How ironic. Andrew was a good boy. Can't imagine when Pandora would kill him. Did Andrew have any contact with people within the island? He knew all the members of the theater company, but one of them was here today. Only one of them was here today. You can find him in the dark room. The dark room? Something wrong? Must be a historic collection of paintings. Have you forgotten what happened there 6 years ago? I'm sorry, I can't remember. What a liar. I want a mask this time. Doesn't matter, more. No other people that came to mind. Maybe any suspect? Maybe. Here are the room numbers. I want you to meet them before I give you my opinion. Really? What's that for? You'll find out soon enough. Also, I can give you access. The access code to the rehearsal room, but you'll have to convince the police to let you in. Don't worry, I can be persuasive. Thank you, Mr. Hoff. You've been very helpful. Thank me when you catch that monster. Before I go, I need to tell you something important. Huh? When you had those two bastards killed, I was happy. They were innocent, that's true. But they did everything they could to destroy me, so they deserve to die. Goodbye, detectives. Forget about it, Hera. Let's get back to the case. Alright. Couldn't Maximilian decided to tell the truth. I suspect the police won't tell us anything. Yes, once again we're going to have to do this ourselves. Should we talk about the acquaintances of the victim, or do you prefer to go with the previous case? I'm gonna save for now. And then I'm gonna end the video. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next one where we're gonna keep going with this game. Until then, have a great one. Bye bye.